Cheers, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bourbon Booze. It is Thursday. It's whiskey day, one of my favorite days of the week. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. So let's get right down to this. We are looking at the Glenlivet Founders Reserve, which I find very common on the shelves. The price, not so much. I find the price anywhere from $37 to about $50, depending on which store I'm in. So you should definitely kind of hunt around if you want to pick this up and find the lowest price. Probably the best deal for you is to just check out apps, whether it's your big box store or if your local stores have those prices on apps. But overall, you should be able to get this right around $40, not too much over that. If you get a lot under that, that's a pretty good deal. But let's go ahead with this. This is the Founders Reserve. It's a blue label. It's from an American Oak Selection, established 1824 for the Glenlivet Company. So that's a pretty easy discerning bottle. So most of their Glenlivets have different color labels depending on what they are, or they have a giant number on it depending on the year, the 12, the 14, the 16, whatever. So this is from the Glenlivet. It's a single malt Speyside Scotch. It is no age statement on this specific kind. I don't know actually what this is being made up of, whether it's the 12 and different oakage or whatever. All I know is this is in memory, or in not necessarily memory, but commemorating all of the different people involved in the Glenlivet distillery. It is 40% or 80 proof, which is pretty standard for Glenlivet, and the price is $37.99, what I got it for. But I have another bottle that I received for $51. That's why I said there's a price discrepancy, and I have looked for this around. Now, there is another Glenlivet Founders that is a travel exclusive. So that one, I believe, is a liter and could be the $57 price that I have, because I think I have 2 bottles of this. But you should be able to get this for about $40. All right, so we're going to look at, well, the price obviously is going to be a 2-barrel on cost because it is over $30. The aroma smells like a wonderful Speyside. You got that floral, pear, and a little bit of apricot, maybe some apple in that, some sweetness, some honey, and vanillas. It just is a great Speyside aroma, and I really think when it comes to Speysides, you can't beat the aroma. Now, you can definitely beat the taste, but you can't beat the aroma of a Glenlivet or a Glenfiddich. Now, there are great aromas out there in Speysides. I tend to like Highlands and Islays a little bit better on the aromas, but you just can't beat the aroma of a Speyside. I'm going to have to say this is a 4 on aroma. Flavor. A little bit watery or clean, crisp. It's got that vanilla. It's got more pear in it than apricot. It's got apple in it, but not a sweet kind of Granny Smith apple. It's got a little bit of peppery, spicy notes to it, some earthiness, little dirty earthiness to it. And it does, to me, have just the faintest bit of smoke to it. So I'm not saying this is a smoky Scotch. I'm not saying there's Islay in it, you know, that peat smoke, but there's a faintness of smoke to it. I would say this is probably a 4 as well on flavor. I think it's very nice. It's smooth and very, very much a delicious, palpable Speyside Scotch. and would probably not be assaulting to people who don't like scotches. So you could try that. For the bite, I'm going to bump it down to a 3. I think it's an average. It's got a little bit of heat, a little bit of back funky lingering to it. It's not overly smooth. There is some of that aftertaste that's going on. So I'm going to bump that to a 3. So this is going to give it a 13 total overall, which is just a hair over 2. I'm going to say it's a 3.5 barrel. Rating 3.5 out of 4 barrels. I really like the Glenlivets. My wife calls Glenlivet breakfast whiskey. I tend to like Glenlivet as an anytime whiskey. She likes it in the morning with her breakfast. Now, before you guys all freak out, she discovered this while traveling, and she had a really early morning flight. She's stuck at the airport. She's buying some duty free, and she only needed like a $3 more purchase to get a bonus % off. So she bought a small mini of Glenlivet and had it for breakfast at the airport before her long flight. I think she's in Europe at the time because she's buying duty free. So she had a 9-hour flight home and absolutely fell in love with it, and now it's one of her favorites. Now, she still considers it a breakfast whiskey because she works nights. She works 12-hour shifts from 7 at night to 7 in the morning. So her ability to drink, if she chooses to do so, which isn't very often on work days, is when she gets home from work before she goes down to bed for the day. So it's still considered a breakfast whiskey for her. But if you're Scottish, it's an anytime whiskey, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I know that when I travel to Scotland, I have whiskey all the time. So just heard a really big thunder. I don't know if you got that, but yeah, so this is a 3.5. Tell us what you think. Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. Check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and merchandise. Hopefully you guys are liking the new format that we're doing. And remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey. And this is really close to great whiskey. Cheers.